I think it shows that, the relationship between China and Venezuela right now is probably at its best moment in all of our history. We have a lot of cooperation, over 500 agreements between the two countries. I think the best word, or the first word that comes to my mind when I think about China, is friend. It's a country that has been friendly to Venezuela ever since I've been a diplomat and have been in this relationship. I think that China has shown that it wants us to experience what China is, or to see China for what it is. And it's something that is important because the achievements that China has made, the experience of building its own socialist model, modern type of socialism, for a country like ours, which is also trying to build its own socialism. Well, it's very inspiring. I think we pay attention to what China does, again, because I think China has shown, with the alleviation of poverty and with the advances in technology and in development that has had in the recent years, which has been fast growth. In the last 40 years, China has transformed into a totally different country. So we, of course, see all the recent history of China as something that we need to study. Not because we need to imitate or duplicate, because I think China has its own characteristics and its model works for China. And we're not trying to imitate, we're trying to create our own model. What we learn is that other models are possible when we see China with a success. Not the imposition of the one model by the United States, by neoliberal policies and recipes. The idea of Fukuyama, the end of history. There's only one way to do things. Well, China has shown that that's not true. That you could do things and have a lot of positive outcomes, a lot of outcomes that are not measured in necessarily only in economic output, but also in real transformation in people's lives, in humanity. So if you have a model that shows that it has been able to solve the primary concerns of people, then that's something that we want to look at and hope that we can implement something similar with our own characteristics as well. I think China is playing a very important role, constructive role in world politics. We have seen very recent attempts of China at bringing countries together. For example, the recent, because I think that's the role that countries should play in the international community. Bring countries together, attempt at peace, find ways to promote dialogue and mutual benefit, rather than feed wars or trying to create polarize the world into my friends, my enemies. That's not the way diplomacy should work. China is, I think, an example of a country that knows how to respect other countries' sovereignty, other countries' self-determination. China is a country that is respectful of international law, which I think is very important. So those type of roles that China is playing, bringing people together, promoting peace, defending international law, I think is the most constructive role that a country can play in international politics, and I think it's very positive.